And hello, and welcome to today's Daily Race. I'm Hugo, joined the commentary booth by Koi. How are you doing, sir?
Doing fantastic, all ready to go for this daily race. And it's a weird one. It is.
Yeah, hard mode, 4-4, fast game. So, the conditions to complete this seed is it's like you need barely anything.
Yeah, so essentially all we need to finish the seed is 4 crystals of the 7 crystals that exist, and the items required to kill Ganon, so Master Sword and a Fire Source. We do have hard mode on, and it's hard item pool and hard item functionality. So this means we're not going to see things like Blue Mail or Butter Sword. And even if we find nice things like the cape, they're not going to work in the same way. They're like the cape will cost a lot more magic. Red potions won't full heal you, etc.
Looks like we're off.
Well, Link's House wins. 50 rupees is better than a map.
So, green pendant on Hera, blue pendant on Desert, and a crystal on Eastern. They're going to be wanting a ball.
Yeah, Pendant Hera is not exactly what you want to see. One of the more easily accessible dungeons. We want those to be crystals.
Yikes, that is not a good triple.
Yeah, not super helpful. Even the bush crab only spitting out arrows today.
Uncle being cheap.
And Uncle Start ended up not paying off today, just some rupees. Scruff killed both of those green guards there. I think he might be setting up for a tier 2 or 3 pull, and hopefully getting bombs from that. But he won't need them because there's bombs at the mushroom spot.
That's always fun.
You see Edium going out of his way here to kill extra enemies. He wants to kill 4 enemies so they can get a different tree pull than those green rupees.
Going through hideout first.
Oh, bombs in the Thief's hideout as well, so those tree pulls will not be necessary.
Let's see here. Sprite checkout. We have Scruff using his usual Goomba sprite. PRD Wong using Rainbow Link. At least that's what his file name tag says. Itium running Fox Link. And Plasma Kappa running the Super Mario Boost.
Alright, Plasma Kappa gets to Kakariko first. Get to check out Blind's hideout here. 5 items. Give me swords. We get a glove. Glove's fine.
Yeah, they're gonna need that.
And a moon pearl. Nice to find. So swords in this mode are going to be a lot more important than in a typical 7-7 fast Ganon, because we only need 4 crystals, which means we have to do a lot less of a game to actually get to Ganon. So swords may become a real problem if they're not nice to find. So much more than in a regular 7-7 fast Ganon seed, the possibility of going to GT looking for a sword is a lot higher, because at some point, going to GT with 27 items, or 27 chests, 22 items, is going to look a lot better than going to, say, like Meyer or something.
And Plasma Kappa was the first one to pull the bow out of the well. And a hook shot.
Yeah, hookshot, a very nice pickup. It's not going to do a lot for us in logic yet, but we're just a way up the mountain from getting access to East Death Mountain. Lots of checks over there.
And $100 for a premium sewing needle. Oh wait, no, it's actually a temp pack.
Well, that'll do it for Kakariko. Coming out pretty nice. We got a bow, glove, hookshot. We can even go get our first crystal over at Eastern. Oh, I spoke too soon. There's also a flute.
Stackarico.
Yeah, Plasma Kappa going to activate that immediately.
Sub 5 flute activation. This Sid is gonna set us up for a ride. Like, the only thing that can top this off is if we have a bottle in the race game.
So I don't think the hard item pool is going to be have much impact on this seed, just because we only have to do so much of the game, right? It's not like we have to full clear the game like normal with 7 crystals. Only 4 needed. So even if we were lucky and found lots of swords and stuff, like we would only find enough to kill Ganon anyway. Item functionality, though, is going to be a bit more impactful. Because we're likely going to be seeing Master Sword Silverless Ganon. That is very likely, and your safeties are not going to be as safe as normal with hard item functionality. Plasma Kappa finding half magic, though, very nice to have when you have a low % Ganon fight in your future.
Yeah, since it requires a fire source. That can be the Fire Rod, which then makes magic management a really big problem.
Silvers do exist in hard item pool, but the hard item function. Wait, do they? You know, I'm not sure now. Can you get silvers in hard item pool?
You can, but they're only usable during the Ganon fight.
Yeah, well, they're item pool and item functionality are separate settings. So functionality would make it only usable during the Ganon fight, but I'm not sure if item pool rules them out entirely.
Well, since hard item functionality allows for the use of silvers, it doesn't seem like I don't see why hard pull would actually restrict them being there.
So you could have normal item pool with hard functionality.
Pretty sure that's a thing.
I don't know. It's weird. Like, I don't see a lot of people using these settings. Typically, you just leave them both on normal.
Yeah, this used to be like they used to be bundled into one, like just hard mode in V30. V31 just split everything as much as possible. And Scruff is rescuing the old man, apparently.
Yeah, the items he has, the flute plus the hookshot, means he can get to a lot of stuff over here on East Death Mountain. While we have Plasma Kappa headed over to the Flipper checks.
It's a bit annoying to go visit this area without the money to pay the king.
Yeah, kind of a risky play here from Plasma Kappa for sure. But he finds Mitz on Zora's Ledge. That is Dark World access. And with the hookshot and flute, that's a lot of checks in Dark Death Mountain now as well.
So, Blue Cane in Nice Broad Cave.
Alright, we see Edium here going for the more standard play. Crystal Dungeon you can full clear. Easy decision.
I didn't see exactly what was in Spectral Rock Cave, but it was
bombs.
blue.
Okay. Bombs. Back of escape with a shield and a sword. Very important pickup there for Plasma Kappa. Hopefully our other runners will make their way as well. Pretty Wong doing it now.
With a glove that early, they're gonna visit there.
Scrub narrowly avoiding death from that dead rock. We'll get a nice heal here from these pots.
Ooh, ether. So, 3 hearts, green mail, Death Mountain visit. That is yeah.
does feel weird to see so many of our runners not going to Eastern. Like, of as far as like crystals go, we only need 4 of them, and you already have access to 1. Like, why not already do it? But the lack of sword plus the low hard count may be giving some of the runners pause. The Eastern Dark Rooms are not the easiest when you don't have a sword to help you out. Start finding Canis Samaria there in Paradox Cave, along with that ether medallion we found earlier. That might be impactful. Eddie, I'm checking the hint for some reason.
Is that all for fetch quest accounted for? We got the mushroom, the shovel, and the first bottle.
Yeah, I guess we're missing powder. We could always fake powder though.
Yeah, since we already got the cane, just need a hammer.
I don't see anybody doing fake powder anytime soon though, because we have like half magic, and the only magic weapon we have is the Samaria. That's a lot of Samaria blocks to get rid of your magic.
I mean, I think it was, yeah, Wong found the cane of Parna, which can drink up that magic really fast.
Yeah, that's true.
So a question in chat for what hard mode does. It's so the hard mode functionality. Cape and Burna have a much higher magic consumption. Let's see, the potions barely heal anything.
Yeah, like a red potion heals like 8 hearts or something. Green potion would only heal half your magic pool.
Yeah, no, you can get to Tempered Sword in hard mode. The restriction is Gold Sword, and that is actually part of the item pool, not the functionality. So the other thing, oh crap, just
it's hard for us to explain all the settings every time because lots of people have been asking so far. I do recommend you guys check out the options page on the Link to the Past website, Link to the Past Rando website, and it'll have like tables explaining everything. But as things are relevant, we'll make sure to note them to you.
Yeah, it's a lot to take in. But
just basically, everything's harder. That's what's important here.
Think about it this way: you're most likely forced into the NMG route, or at least the MG loadout for fighting Ganon. And if you see that route, like, they have 0 safeties.
Alright, so it is good to know Scruff did soft reset the game after spending his mushroom, so he will have the option to fake powder now. I don't know if he really wants to do that this time, but it will be available to him. And Edium finds the cape on Armos here. I mean, even at double magic consumption with half magic, that can be a very nice safety to have. Just have to be a little more conservative with its use. Scruff's selling his B. He needs to stand a little farther to the left, though, so it doesn't attack the statue. Go left. Just walk to the left. Okay, poor Scruff. The B is gone. Yeah, so if the gold bee attacks the bottle merchant will pay you 100 rupees. But he prefers attacking the flute statue, the windmill or whatever.
Yeah, we're getting the shovel check as well.
Looks like Pretty Wong had a little bit of trouble there in the back Eastern Dark Room, opting to hop down and grab some fairies so he doesn't die. Typically a good call. Dying is very slow.
Scruff saying no to the piece of heart.
A little, maybe not the best decision, because while there are less hearts available. There are plenty of hearts available for him to have a comfortable Ganon fight. The problem is, with only 4 crystals required, we're probably not going to see most of those hearts. So taking what you can get, probably a better call. But I trust him. Oh, Master Sword in Agina's Cave. All right, Sword's not going to be a problem for Scruff, at least. I don't know if our other runners are going to make their way over there anytime soon, though.
We are nearing go mode, kinda.
Yeah, we will need to. We need to find out more information.
Yeah, like they're just missing a fire sword for the Ganon fight, and then we need to learn what dungeons we can do.
I think we have that already. It was Skullwoods as our last pendant. So right now we can full clear Eastern and Thieves, and that's it.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Plasma Kappa has a Dark World access.
There are 4 swords in the game, but as soon as you find your 3rd one, the 4th one becomes 20 rupees. But because it's only 4 crystals per Ganon, like there's no telling if we're going to see any other swords. It's a lot different in a 7-7 seed, where you're going to go pretty much everywhere in the game, so it's really likely you find more than 2 swords. Idiom also finding that sword in Agina's Cave. Very nice pickup.
Yeah, having the flute early makes Agina a very convenient check.
All of our runners, except for Plasma Kappa so far, putting off that Zora area. I gotta think this is because of the rupees for Zora situation. It feels really bad to go over there and not get that item.
I mean, they're getting into the rupee count where Hulaham is gonna solve it.
Pretty long also getting the sword from Agina's Cave, so just Plasma Kappa missing that one. Edium gets his one from Back of Escape. So 3 runners with the Master Sword now.
Those dark rooms can get really out of sync if you take too long.
He's in the eastern one?
Yeah.
No, he's in just Old Man Cave on the top right.
No, Plasma Kappa. Did you see how many arrows he had to fire?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, those popos in the back Eastern Dark Room can be very trolly sometimes. Alright, looks like Scruff is going to go after the flipper checks now, even though he doesn't have the rupees for Zora, but it will get him the mitts and Dark World access. Still not going to Eastern as Scruff, though. It's very surprising that he's put it off this long.
And with Dark World access, he's gonna put it off even longer. I'm guessing he doesn't want to do a possible out-of-logic check.
Nice B to replace the one he wasted earlier. Can never have enough beats.
Oh yeah. I mean, early on, they can be like a neat backup weapon.
Alright, Plasma Kappa finishes up his Eastern checks. I think he's probably headed to the Dark World now. He's had access for a while, just wanted to take care of that easy crystal. Important to note that Plasma Kappa is our only runner who has not been to a Yuna's cave. So hoping for another sword on the way.
I'm guessing he's hoping for a mirror. And it's Quake for Meyer. Yeah, so we're... Oh my god.
Scruff taking his mitts up to Dark Death Mountain. I think we already saw that from Plasma Kappa, though, and was not much to be found. I'm pretty sure he did that. Like, 20% sure.
Yeah, that 5-6 placement is like... Pyramid Fairy is not gonna have anything.
Yeah, no, with 4 crystals for Ganon, you can pretty much write TR off as a possibility. Plasma Kappa playing it a little safe here, going into Skullwoods first. Pretty common play when you don't have the hammer.
No hammer, no fire rod. So I was talking with some people earlier about how we don't really have a map for the location of Magic Route. That room that Plasma Kappa just grabbed an item from. If you bomb the wall to the right, there's a full magic bottle there. It is the best backup you have in case something goes wrong during the modular fight.
Scruff clearing up Hookshot Cave here, but it is empty. Gotta go somewhere else. Plasma Kappa continuing through Skull Woods, also so far empty. He's got a couple more checks here, though. All the keys.
I guess he's hoping for a French vanilla fire rod. Because then it's a very fast dungeon clear.
Well, I think he'd rather not find the fire rod, honestly, with it being appended. I feel like going into Skullwoods at this point is it's very much a because I don't have the hammer reasoning. Having a little trouble with this bomb jump. I think he's got it this time though. Just don't touch the mini mold arms.
Yeah, one bop and you're dead.
All that for a map.
Pretty Wong doing the hula ham.
Yeah, our only runner to do so, I think. And he's still short for Zora rupees.
If you took that time to actually visit the 50 rupee cache,
he's gonna sell them.
He's gonna get a...
So you can see he walks to the left of the bottle merchant there, so that the flute statue is not on the screen.
And there it is, Zora money.
I don't believe we found any items in Skullwoods. It was all keys and compasses.
Yeah, things are not looking bright.
Eddie, I'm also going after the hula hand, so that he can make sure to get Zora's item. If Zora has something good, this is going to spell a lot of trouble for Scruff and Plasma Kappa.
Short 2 rupees.
Surely somebody will drop some rupees.
I'm amazed they haven't checked the stunt prize yet.
Well, I mean, they can't. Well, they can. I guess they have a hook shot.
They have the hook shot, that thing can stun.
I think most things in the light world that you can hit with the hook shot just die to it.
And the choo-choos, that green things, and the crabs, they get stunned.
Pretty Long gets powder from Zora. Not exactly what he wanted, but that means we can hold out hope that Zora is a difference maker.
Oh boy, all the fetch quests.
Alright, Plasma Kappa headed into Thieves Town here. He cannot full clear this without the hammer. Or he cannot be sure to full clear it without the hammer, but the small key might just be in that chest. Doesn't necessarily have to worry about it. At the very least, he will get a crystal from this, which will be half of what he needs to finish the game.
I think it's one of those cases where once you close the door, it locks itself.
What
So
door?
they just... Yeah, kind of like when people lock their car keys inside the car.
I don't know what door you're talking about.
The one in the basement. In the Thieves Town.
Oh, you mean about a key locking itself?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I was taking what you were saying very literally, and it didn't make any sense.
Okay, so third sword.
Oh, Plasma Kappa found a sword? Oh, wow.
Yeah, for the big key chest in Thieves Town. That was the third sword.
Well, that does not bode well for Plasma Kappa, because it is very unlikely he's going to go so far out of his way to check the Ginas now. He'd have to get pretty bottlenecked for something like that, where everyone else is just going to find tempered no problem.
Yeah, that is yes, Scruff is gonna be rocking that tempered really soon. I think same for Idiom and Pretty Wong. Oh god, they're all the same general area. No wait, Idiom's on Dark Death Mountain. What I'm thinking.
Yeah, looks like Pretty Long also going after Front of Skull Woods. Going to be a little disappointed here. Scruff making the God Vision play to skip it and go straight to Village of Outcasts, where he finds a lamp and brewery. Hey, that's all the items we need to kill Ganon, at least. Now, if we could just get 2 more crystals, everything's golden. Of course, I do expect all of our runners to grab that lamp. It's in a very on-the-way location. A little stressed out for Plasma Kappa at the moment, down to 1 heart in Thieves Town. Playing it real safe in the spike room. If he can just avoid some bad RNG, he should be fine. That's pretty bad RNG. He's fine though.
Yeah, it's one of those things, like, that's when the powder can come in handy. Because you can just powder the anti-fairies for a little bit of health, and getting them out of your way.
Yeah, I believe with hard functionality, it would turn a Bunny Beam into a single heart.
I think it's expert that if you powder them, they turn into bees.
Something like that. Scruff getting his tempered sword.
So East Side Dark World has not come up yet because our Dark World access was Titans, so they have to enter Dark World via Kakariko, and then do the loop through the north or the south just to get there.
We are just a hammer away from being able to full clear pod, so I would expect our runners to try and put off pod for a bit so they can single dip it.
No, Blind cannot drop that key.
Yeah, if you haven't found the small key by the time you get to Blind, it means that it must be in the big chest, and thus you don't have to worry about it. Interestingly, it also means that Blind is hammerlocked, but that's not impactful unless he drops something.
Yeah, the logic assumes you grab that key from below the basement. No, below the attic. Drag it all the way to the big chest room, open that, and then go to the attic and open the thing. It is a pretty roundabout way, but since it can happen, the logic accounts for it.
I didn't find out the hard way that his boomerang actually doesn't stun things, because this is hard functionality.
Yeah, the only good use you can get out of the boomerang is... Okay, it's hitting the Armos Knights, Stalfos, and the Stalfos Knights.
Plasma Kappa just finding some money there at Dig Game. He'll have to continue south on his way to Hype Cave. I wonder if he will grab the Smith, though. Looking like no Smith today. Stumpy also not paying off. Now, he could have picked up the Smith just by virtue of it being really quick to get back to Kakariko with the flute. But if he has the Smith with him, he won't be able to take him to Palace of Darkness, which may be what Plasma Kappa intends to do very soon.
Yeah, go to Hype Cave, then drop down to the lake, swim upwards, and you're there.
Given the items we have so far, Pod does look pretty likely to have something, but you really don't want to double dip if you don't have to. Oh, Scruff taking a death to Blind.
Oh yeah, I forgot. That's another thing hard functionality does. Burnout no longer is a safety item. That's why he died.
Oh, I thought that was exclusive to Expert.
Well, he clearly died with the cane active.
I mean, I believe you. I'm just saying I thought it was Expert only.
I don't remember if it used to be.
I'm in a little trouble with his script here, but sword beams make everything easier. Nice damageless fight there. And Plasma Kappa is headed into Palace of Darkness. Sans Hammer.
So yeah, that's a thing. I don't know if anyone actually practiced that. Like entering blind after a defeat.
It's a pretty uncommon situation for most of our runners.
Yeah, there we saw it. Pretty Wong healed just single heart from following that Fanta Fire.
Well, when you're down to 1.5 hearts, that doesn't sound so bad. Bombs in the first chest of Pod. This is bow locked. Good thing we have a bow.
Oh yeah, you can see everything in this dungeon except for the boss.
So 34 minutes into our race so far. Everybody's pretty even, except Plasma Kappa has kind of a lead on checking things, but he's behind a sword. Like he got to pot a lot quicker than everyone else. And Pretty Wong being silly. Working as intended.
But I've seen that before. Like, it's one thing that marked me when I watch a race. It was Wheeler that did this glitch. I don't remember who was the commentator, but he said with the tone of a disappointed dad, like, is Wheeler memeing again?
I mean, there's no point to it, it's just for fun.
Yeah, I know, it's kind of like bothering the witch. Like, you do those minor graphical glitches just to troll the audience.
That's a good point, Zelga. Thanks for letting us know. He could have left if he wanted to.
That I didn't know.
You gotta be prepared for these very rare situations. You never know when you're gonna want to leave the blind room mid-fight.
Okay, so I wasn't paying attention the first time, but I saw 2 full hearts being pulled out of High Cave.
Yeah, everyone's at a heart total now where they're not going to have too much trouble with the rest of the game. Tempered Sword, 7 hearts is typically all you need for runners of these calibers.
Scruff doing the full-fledged world tour with the frog.
Yeah, he'll be unable to go to Pod here if he wants to keep his frog, so it looks like he's headed over to Pyramid and maybe to Catfish after.
Yeah, he's probably getting to Catfish and then doing a save and quit. And Pretty Wong looking like he's gonna do the same route.
Yeah, very possibly. Pyramid just 5 rupees today, and meanwhile Plasma Kappa going through Pod still has not found anything of use. A heart container. Well, better than nothing, I guess.
Oh, that's up to 10 hearts already.
Yeah, and even if he doesn't end up finding Tempered Sword, like, he has plenty of hearts for this game.
Okay, so 41 rupees and the thing.
Well, at the very least, this is a really terrible go mode pod, so if that situation does come up, nobody's going to save too much time over him. And looks like the last item's going to be on the boss. Plasma Kappa not finding what he needed in pod there. Going for the Death Warp. This is probably so he can continue on to Pyramid and Catfish. So what's the answer here? Is the Smith just hiding everything? Could it be Magic Bat? Purple Chest, even?
Magic Bat is
Did we already check it?
still not in logic. You need either the mirror or the hammer.
Oh yeah, right, we can't get to it. That makes sense. Smith's only 10 arrows. Scruff's gonna have to look somewhere else.
Did we get a bumper ledge check?
We did. I do remember seeing that. It was not anything good.
Okay.
I think we might only be missing purple chest.
That's going to be a nasty last location.
Yeah, I would expect almost all of our runners to put that off as long as they possibly can. Except for Scruff, who is doing it now, apparently.
I mean, you already took the time to do the world tour.
I mean, as far as like efficiency goes, like going into pod makes a lot more sense than doing purple chest. But if you get to single dip pod and everybody else double dipped it, you are pretty good ahead. So I can definitely see the reasoning that would get you to do mirrorless Smith sequence before hammerless pod.
He's two skipping on
There it is.
East. Oh boy.
So Scruff is suddenly in a very good position to take this game.
Yeah, he's now gonna knock out Eastern and Pod.
Yeah, he'll still full clear pod because he is not in go mode yet, but he will be able to single dip it and save time over our other runners.
So we are looking for either Quake, Fire Rod, Mirror, and I think that's it. One of those three, and we get the fourth crystal, and it's off to the races. Yeah, Bombos as well. I'm sure they'd prefer seeing Fire Rod.
Yeah, so it's very possible that our runners will have different go mode items. But it does look like the hammer is locking everything, and nobody's going to make any progression until they go after purple chest. Idiom now headed into pod, unfortunately without that hammer. Oh, Plasma at front of escape. Oh yeah, we haven't seen this, have we? Front of escape. We had some runners do the uncle check, but nobody went into the front.
Yeah, we've only seen the drop down. If Mirror is in here, like are any of the items that I listed for Go mode, that we have an interesting race.
Yeah, Mirror would be a great find for Plasma Kappa, because not only would that be the last thing that we need for no mode, but it would make it a lot easier for him to decide to do Smith sequence. Scruff, despite finding the hammer in like the first 2 minutes of the bow in the first 2 minutes of the game, has now decided 43 minutes later, let's do Eastern Palace. I don't know why he put this off for so long. It's not going to hurt him or anything. It's just weird.
I mean, after seeing what's in there, I think he already knows that Mr. Myers Quake. He's not gonna feel really behind after.
Like, he did mirrorless Smith sequence instead of going to a Crystal Dungeon Naked Folk player. A quick Crystal Dungeon Naked Folk player, even. It's unusual. But, whatever wins the race, right? It's also possible he just forgot about Eastern, or thought it was a pendant or something.
We also have that front of escape. I wasn't paying attention really.
I don't think we found anything yet. Bombos, that's gonna be our no mode. Plasma Kappa still has to go get that hammer, but when he does, that's go mode for him.
Yeah, so oh my god. It is gonna be Eastern Thieves, Ice Palace, and Pod.
Thankfully, Bombos. No, Plasma Kappa, don't do it! Oh, I think he might go into ice. Look like he's gonna head up and check Ice Rod Cave first, which he'd been putting off for a while.
Yeah, that can happen.
If he goes to ice, that's pretty painful.
He has everything to full clear it.
Well, he's missing the hammer to full clear it, but he can spend a lot of time in there without the hammer. Pretty Wong also getting Bombos. Hopefully, he does not go to ice.
So that green guard there, some pretty awesome ninja skills to hide in that short grass. It's a Link to the Past exclusive feature that you can find enemies behind bushes and grass.
Well, rip Plasma Kappa. He's headed into Ice Palace. This makes a lot of sense for him. Like, it's following the items that he's found so far. It's just really unfortunate because we know where the hammer is. But I totally understand not wanting to do mirrorless Smith sequence.
Can you imagine if he finds a mirror here?
Yeah, that'd be pretty good for him. It still would be slower than just getting the hammer first, but it would at least put him back on the right track.
I mean, it would be Go Mode Swamp.
Oh, I think he'd still go to Ice Palace. Maybe do Swamp instead of Pod.
Yeah.
He finds a book. That is not super helpful.
Yeah, that's bad. He's gonna go even more off track.
All right, Scruff going into Pod. This will be his third crystal, and we'll get to see what Helmosaur has. Edium, unfortunately, no hammer. He's got to leave.
That was a pretty painful death warp. Having to bomb yourself down from such a high heart count.
Now, the big key in Pod is all the way in the Dark Maze, so Scruff isn't going to save as much time versus being able to go mode versus full clear here. But it is saving a lot of time just by virtue of being a single dip.
Now, another weird possibility. Helma has an item. So, can we hope for a go mode on Helma?
Yeah, that would help a lot for Scruff if he found like the mirror on Helmosaur or something. He still hasn't been to Front of Escape though, but he doesn't have that much extra game available to him. So I can see the Front of Escape being a play he does fairly soon. Eddie, I'm not finding anything at Pyramid, has to go up to Catfish, where he'll continue not finding anything.
Yeah, so since this is open, there's a saying that rings true quite often. That escape is our 4th pendant dungeon.
Yeah, often players will try to go to avoid going to the escape. It is kind of slow for what items you get there, and it feels really bad if like the map's in Zelda's Cell or something. All right, this is the last chest Plasma Kappa can get in Ice Palace, I believe.
Wait, the last check?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no hammer.
It's
Oh,
a fire rod.
Oh no.
Oh my goodness.
Bombas was
So-
in Zelda Cell.
Unfortunately, the fire rod does unlock new locations for him, and I think he's probably going to go to Skullwoods next.
So, side questing galore.
As soon as he hits a dead end and stops finding things, he will give up and just do Mirrorless Smith sequence for Go Mode.
Yeah, we are in no mode.
But like, if he finds like the mirror in the back of Skullwoods, that's really, really bad. Well, I guess it's not that bad. It depends on what he does with it, honestly.
Yeah, if he completes the Smith sequence, he's good. If he goes to Swamp Palace, then it's bad.
He'd only do one check in Swamp, so I'm not too worried about him doing that. But he could like take the mirror up to Tower of Hera and the Ether Tablet. Alright, Edium dive in front of Escape. He will find Bombos here and be in the same position as Pretty Wong and Plasma Kappa. Just looking for that hammer.
Some pretty awesome divergence as we see. Like they're each on different locations, but quite the varied set of items. At least comparing script to the rest of them.
Alright, first check in Skullwoods is just 10 arrows. And he will, without a doubt, go on and kill Mothula here, who does have an item. Scruff setting up his Death Warp, and he will be the first runner to make his way to Helmasaur King by virtue of that purple chest hammer.
I mean, if the moth is empty, or at least has nothing of value, he's probably gonna do Smith Chain next.
Yeah, he won't have much choice. Pretty Wong getting the bad news. Pod is empty, and he has to leave. Nice fight there from Plasma Kappa, but did Mothula have something? Ice Rod! Okay, fantastic. Ice Rod does nothing for us.
Actually, it does. Turtle Rock is in logic.
No, we need the hammer.
Oh yeah. Okay. That almost. That would have been quite the adventure.
Pretty Wong also going through Ice Palace without the hammer. He's going to find that fire rod and probably do the exact same thing Plasma Kappa did. Anything to avoid Mirrorless Smiths. Mirrorless Smiths is really, really slow. You really don't want to do it if you don't have to.
And would you look at the bottom left corner? Ichium is...
Yeah, Edium doing the same thing.
It's like rooms behind.
Yeah, they're all doing the normal thing. They're doing the things you expect people to do. Scruff with the weird play that's totally paying off today.
Like, that's what we call the Galaxy Brain play.
Kappa following his book Oh no. Where was the book? I
Oh
don't
my.
remember.
It wasn't nice. Like, Ichigo
Oh, he
just
found
pulled
the
it off of
guys
the...
too. Oh no.
Ay, ay, ay. This is gonna be one heck of an adventure.
And there's crystal number 3 for Mr. Scruff Ninja Tuna. So all Scruff has to do is go front of escape, and he's in go mode. I don't know how much he actually has available, so I think it's probably one of his best options that he has right now.
I think he's pretty bottlenecked into that. So leaving escape for last was actually the correct choice on this seed.
Yeah, the big possible divergence for him is like following the hammer up to Death Mountain. But nope, he's going front of escape. Okay. Awesome play here. Just never go to any pendants. You can't lose.
Well,
Refuse to double dip anything. Always wins.
so that book did one good thing.
Yeah, you got the tempered.
Yeah. So
I think you'd
no,
rather have the hammer.
pretty much.
All right, Plasma's got to be pretty bottlenecked. I'm not 100% sure, but I think he might only have the Smith sequence left.
So for Scruff, we're looking at a sub 1 hour 5 minutes. I guess.
I have no idea.
Don't know. Maybe.
Ganon fight's like 2 minutes. Ice is like 3 minutes. I don't know.
Yeah, he's gonna hit go mode as soon as it checks the last chest.
And there it is. Go mode for Mr. Scruff Ninja Tuna.
56 and some change. Yeah, Zora had a powder. Idiom finding his side quest of the day. So, go mode Ice Palace.
Alright, looks like Plasma Kappa is making the play here. Headed down to that purple chest.
Yeah, that's a bad last location.
Yeah, I don't blame him or Pretty Wong or Idiom, honestly. Mirrorless Smith sequence is one of the least efficient things in the game. So it was very surprising to see Scruff do it before even Eastern Palace with the bow. But that's the way Rando goes sometimes. Sometimes you make the crazy play and it actually works out.
Rando being Rando.
And here it is, go mode for Plasma Kappa. Just a few minutes behind Scruff, but he has to go back and get Pod.
Yeah, he has to get Pod and then drop down to ice and finish cold. Scruff having a little bit of trouble with the bomb jump setup.
Edium, like Plasma Kappa before him, headed on to Mothula, where he won't find anything useful, and will get a little closer to that bottleneck. Pretty Wong headed up to his Fire Rod, which will likely lead him into Skullwoods as well.
Yeah, that's quite something. Okay, let's see if he can make the puffs behave.
Mothula's being super rude to Edium. And that'll do it. Down goes Cold Stare, and Mr. Scruff Ninja Tutor collects Crystal number 4.
Yeah, so since we don't have to visit the tower, there's no point in actually guessing the number. We can do something different. Yeah, Ganon teleports.
Scruff looks like he's just gonna stock up on some potions real quick. And then a quick walk over to the pyramid. Plasma Kappa takes down Helmosaur. Crystal number 3. Just a quick trip to Ice Palace to remain. Alright, I think Edium's on the right track here.
I think it's his last location for that. So looking at the current positions, it's going to be Scruff first, Plasma second, Etium third, and Pretty Wong fourth on the restream.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that it's so clear what the results are already, but that's just the way it goes sometimes. This has been a very, very linear seed for most of our runners. It's just standard fare, you know, you don't do Mirrorless Smith sequence unless you have to. It makes sense that so many last location did it.
Yeah, Scruff did not a very efficient technique for the cape there.
The weird thing is he didn't have to have the cape active while he was doing those spins. You can just stand above Ganon and do the spins, and you don't go anywhere. He has plenty of magic, though. And a magic refill, even.
Wait, so no silvers?
Nope, didn't find him. Not surprising.
No, I mean, Ganon mentioned Planet Zabas on the hint.
Oh yeah, I think somebody said earlier that the item pool is no silvers. I can't remember. I already forgot.
I
It
thought
doesn't
that
matter.
was
We haven't
a-
found him anyway. It does. It
Yeah.
it has no bearing at all on the sea.
Yeah, I thought that was a feature of the experiment.
I'd have to look it up. Oh, Scrub taking a fall, no?
Well, that hurts.
He's still on pace to win, but Plasma Cap is he's not that far away from his own Ganon fight. Another phase 4 fall, and this could be a lead change.
Well, things are getting exciting.
And there's go mode for Edium, getting his hammer from Purple Chest.
Yeah, so the thing about the cape, if you're having to manage your magic, the best way to do it is to either spam the sword or grab a wall.
Spamming the sword doesn't stop the magic drain unless you're actually hitting something.
Oh boy.
And he does not have the torch glitch, so it's going to be a lot slower than normal if he wants to continue using lamp strats. Yeah, getting 2 hits in when you're lighting both torches with the lamp is very RNG dependent on where Ganon gets stopped. He can only guarantee 1 hit per cycle this way. Almost got that one.
Now we really have a race.
Plasma Kappa making his way to the pyramid.
Oh.
Scruff's getting a little off kilter here. He's not that many hits away from being done. But his torches are pretty desynced.
Yeah, missing the torch glitch there. I wonder if it would be better to just reset the fight.
Oh, almost taking the fall. He manages to teeter back onto the edge.
Yeah, that is a really dangerous. Like, it's a really dangerous positioning he's putting himself into.
There it is. Woo!
Well, that's one way of keeping things exciting.
And with that, Mr. Scruff Ninja Tuna takes first place on the restream. And First place overall with a time of 108.57. GG.
GG, Scruff, you did the Galaxy Brain play.
GG. Holy cow, I cannot believe that. See, it was because you asked Idiom for that favor.
So before the race started, I went to the IRC room and I said, "Hey, Idiom," and Idiom's like, "What?" And I said, "Hey, can you do me a favor? Can you let Scruff win? He needs it."
Oh man, that was a fun seed.
I wouldn't have said that if I knew you were gonna do the craziest possible play.
I honestly was not anticipating that to pay off, because I knew the hammer was the crucial point. The way the dungeons were set up, you could not get 4 crystals unless you had that freaking hammer. So I was like, what's the one thing everyone's not going to do right off the bat? It's like, Smith sequence. It's got to be that. It's got to be something.
I mean, I can get on board with you wanting to make the low percent play like that over to gain an edge over other people. But why'd you do it before Eastern?
I honestly forgot about it.
Like, you have this crystal dungeon you've been able to full clear since the start of the game, and you're doing mirrorless Smith sequence.
I truthfully forgot about it. I was looking at the board and I'm like, wait, why is Eastern lit up green? Oh crap!
That sounds fun.
With that, Plasma Kappa also takes down Ganon, finishing second place on our restream. Oh, I'll let him cross the bridge. Second place on the restream, and second place overall with a time of 110.43. You almost lost it with that fall to Ganon. Plasma Kappa was right on your heels.
I was so upset. I was doing good on that first run, and then the 11th hit me right into that fire bat, and I'm like...
And we are joined by Kappa.
Nice hammer game.
Right?
Yeah.
So curious, where was Fire Rod?
Ice Palace.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
I went and I killed Moth and I got my ice rod.
Yeah, it was a really unfortunate situation where Kappa finds Bombos before the hammer. So now his options are, well, I can do Mirrorless Smith Sequence, which is horrible, or I can do Hammerless Ice Palace, which is horrible. And Ice Palace led to more items that unlock more locations, all of which took you farther away from the hammer.
Oh, dang. I really lucked out then. Holy cow.
Yeah, pretty much everybody on the restream except for you, had a pretty standard route where they got down to those two choices and decide Ice Palace over Smith Sequence.
Well, honestly, if I didn't forget Front of Escape into the last minute again, I probably would have gone up to Turtle Rock since I got that ether. I was thinking, nah, there probably is very little chance that I'm going to find either the Fire Rod or Bombos or even Quake in that one spot. And then I was like, oh, hey, I got the 3 chests in Escape Sequence.
I didn't even check TR's medallion because of my items.
That's what I decided on right off the bat, because I figure since this is a 4-4 fast Ganon, information was key. So as soon as I got that flute, I went over and checked out... Oh, I take that back. As soon as I got Titansmith, I checked out Turtle Rock's medallion and Misery Myers, just so I could be like, okay, which one is going to be useful? Because I had that Canis Maria pretty dang early.
I could clear EP, TT is a crystal, and hammer, and one of a billion other items will give me go mode, so who cares about TR?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, TR was pretty unlikely to ever be seen right from the get-go, just by virtue of being 4-4 even.
So, how do you guys feel about that Paradox Cave containing 3 fetch quests?
God, I was so upset about that. The fact that none of them paid off. I even save-scummed that stupid stinking mushroom.
Never fake powder.
Nobody checked the magic bat.
Do they even have the powder?
It was on Zora. You skipped it. Were you worried about Zora at all, though?
I was. The main thing I was worried about was EP's vanilla big key chest because of the lamp. I was going to be my next chest after purple chest.
You know, I gotta admit though, I was actually really hesitant to finish up the Smith chain, because after I turned in the Smith and got nothing from it, I was thinking to myself, this is the worst idea imaginable. I am so far behind at this point. Fine, I'll just finish
you're
it.
right. It is. That's why everybody else skipped it.
Mirrorless turn-in is just a pain in the butt, especially when you've got so much more open. But hey, one of my gambles finally paid off. The once-in-a-blue moon situation.
Well, at least all that dredging around gave me a tempered.
And
Yeah,
look, we have a...
The Agena sword, everyone else actually got that really early.
Oh,
Just
wow.
like the flute, takes you over to Agena so easily.
Oh yeah.
So
But
long
I'm
walk across
sure-
the desert.
I'm sure when you found the tempered sword, you were hoping it was the hammer instead. You would have traded that for the hammer in a second.
Oh,
Definitely.
man. Those silvers, though, so freaking mean. I bet you anything the boots are in GT. That
Where were
because
your
it's sitting there staring you at the face like, hey, you want an easy Ganon fight, right? Here's silvers. Oh, you can't get them.
Oh yeah, we were wondering, can you actually get silvers in hard item pool?
Yes, you can in hard, but it only lets you use them during the Ganon
No,
fight.
that's a different setting. Functionality rules whether you can use it, but whether or not it's available is determined by pool.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
that's
see.
a good.
I don't know, nobody went back.
Available.
Nobody went back to the library after finding the bow, so I have no idea.
Oh, I did see them up there, so I'm assuming it's available. Unless, like, you pick it up and it instantly turns into 20 rupees.
I'd have to look it up to see if you can actually get silvers. I mean, when they reworked the item pool for hard, they wanted to make it more like NMG, and in NMG you typically don't get silvers. So I guess it would make sense if silvers weren't available.
True, because I know with a lot of mystery, if you go unweighted, practically every mystery is a silverless Ganon fight.
So we have Pretty Wong and Edium both in Phase 4 of Ganon at the same time here. Edium saved some time, or gained some time on Pretty Wong when Pretty Wong took a death in Phase 1, or 2 rather.
So it's an idea for post-stream content for you both that race. Boot the seed back up and find those boots just to see what the silvers become.
We can just look it up. I'll look it up
Heck
right
yeah.
now.
I'm gonna go to GT
I
and see if I
mean,
can find it.
it's content. If you actually go play the seed again.
Nah, I'm going to GT. You can't stop me.
Can you do it before I look it up?
Possibly not.
Item pool, hard, maximum bow, silvers for swordless, and normal for not swordless. You cannot get silvers.
Yep.
And Pretty Wong does take the win here for over Edium. Pretty Wong takes third on the restream, fourth overall with 117.39, and Edium takes fourth on the restream, fifth overall with 117.46. So we had 4 of the top 5 Humbug taking third place.
Did we have any forfeits?
No, thankfully not.
It's a really small race, so
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people are turned off by what the settings were.
Yeah, hard mode, 4-4. Like,
I mean,
you're expecting some crazy stuff.
Hard mode, like the hard item pool, hard item functionality, it's basically normal. Like, it doesn't really change much.
Yeah, I mean, you hit the nail on the head. It's just NMG.
Like the big thing is that there are still 4 swords, so your odds of finding temper doesn't change at all. With it being 4-4 instead of 7-7, we were much more likely to see Master Sword Ganon, but the swords were a little nicer today, and we all found 3 of them.
And we are joined by Etium. Congrats.
Hey, thanks, Eddie. Really appreciate it.
GG's.
GG's again.
GG's.
That seed was really dumb.
That hammer, right?
Well, I knew, like, as soon as it was the hammer on purple chest, I'm like, I think this is the type of seed Mr. Scruff is going to win. Because I know that's the kind of crazy gamble you'd make.
Yep.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Scruff actually did Mirrorless Smith sequence before Eastern Palace.
Wow.
That was that crazy.
That's how committed he was.
Yeah, so Ice Palace had not one, but 2 pieces of bait in the book and the fire rod. The fire rod led to the ice rod, which was useless, but, you know. Here,
We're
go.
also joined by Purdy One. Welcome, GG.
GG's, guys.
think-
GG.
I think my B strats on Ganon let POD1 pull ahead of me. Because that caused more lag than I was expecting.
Yeah, so everybody except for Scruff pretty much did the same thing this run. You all eventually came down to this choice of going to Hammerless Ice Palace or doing the Mirrorless Smith sequence, and everybody chose the Ice Palace play. And then followed the Fire Rod and the Bow before Mirrorless Smiths. And I don't blame anybody for this, because Mirrorless Smiths is awful.
Yep.
Well, I was thinking about doing that purple chest and then using that as my path towards pod, because we just drop it off and then I could swim. But then I was like, oh, it's just one check. It's, there's not gonna be anything there.
Scruff, you have to use the door up to actually make this thing work.
Yeah, I just realized that. Whoopsie.
Yeah, that trick is hard to do.
What I do is I put the bomb on the bottom wall, and then I just kind of move over to the side.
I'm going to assume the boots aren't going to be
Oh,
on
you
the
got
right
it.
side. I'm boots hunting, man. I need them boots. Oh,
Why
hey,
didn't you
look.
just go
I
to
found the
Ice
last
Palace?
sword.
How do you know it's a sword?
I'm guessing. It's got to be butter. Because you get, what, fire, shield, and Blunic on hard mode?
No,
I
you don't
didn't
get
it.
no blue now.
Oh, never mind. It could have been a mail upgrade.
Well,
Hey,
anyway,
he's a key.
how did Plasma get so far ahead if he did all the same stuff?
He's plasma.
He's better than
Uh-huh.
us.
I walked out of pod. Took around 100 years.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
his
the one
route just ended up being a little more efficient, I think.
difference, Kappa didn't do a hula ham to actually pay Zora.
Yeah, he skipped Sora, that's true.
Yeah, the only 3 I have EP back, Spiral Cave, Hobo, and Zora left. Everything else checked.
I was so surprised to see those Titans mitts up there. I seriously thought that was just going to be another tease for an Agaseed. I was like, all right, maybe we're going to find Lamp, and it's just going to be like, nope, you got to go kill Aga and this craziness.
I was really hoping it was Boots and Purple Chest to do
Right?
something in Desert so that it would be like
To justify
make the Ice Palace play required. And then Hammer on Ped. That would have been fun. So Mirror would have had to be somewhere.
Oh god, you're right. That could have been a Ped seed.
I was really hoping for it.
I was sweating bullets though, because since I got that hammer early on, that wasn't my go mode. Oh hey, you can get Fire Shield. I was sitting there just chanting to myself, Fire Rod, Bombos, Quake Mirror. Fire Rod, Bombos, Quake Mirror. Because one of those would have given me go mode.
Yeah.
But I was super glad it was Bombos. Go mode Ice Palace is so much easier than any others.
Yeah.
Well, I think that about covers it, you guys. Thank you so much for the race. You all did a great job, even though Scruff is better than everybody else. Apparently.
No. It's not the fact that I'm better. I'm just crazy, and this happens to be one of those times where crazy is good.
It's that X factor, man.
Yeah.
The undefinable quality. People in the chat, make sure to follow these runners. They all did a great job for us. Mr. Scruff, Ninja Tuna, Purdy Wong, Plasma Kappa, and Edium. Really appreciate the show they put on for us today, as well as our trackers, Dark Diplomat and Raylan Tank here. And big thank you to my co-commentator, Hugo. Really appreciate that.
Oh yeah, this was a fun race.
Make sure they're calling and tracking.
Yes.
Our pleasure. Until next time, everybody, I've been Coy, with me Hugo, and we'll see ya later. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
See y'all, folks.